and only podcast made by a cow. And today I've got a special guest, and that guest is.
It's me.
Yes, it's you. It's Gabi Belle. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. The cow is you can see the cow, but the audience can't. So
yeah, I can.
You want to confirm that for
Yeah, I can see the cow. She's here. She's recording it.
Yeah.
She's recording the podcast.
Exactly.
She's real.
Exactly. But yeah, how are you on this fine day, on this afternoon for me, morning for you?
Yes, I'm doing well. I'm glad to be here. This is my first podcast.
Yes, and
appearance.
Ever.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ever.
I feel honored. Well, I hope you enjoy the experience and it doesn't scar you from podcasts forever.
I will never do another podcast after this. I'm done.
I just have to point out as well how jazzy your shirt is.
Thank you.
How do I describe the shirt to the audio listeners? It's kind of like, it's like a classic button up with a collar, but it's got like, it's cut into like tiles and
it's fun. It's very fun. It has drawings on it. Let me see if I can get the back. Look at that.
Dollars.
There's
got dollars. It's got like baby blue, like a nice royal blue, millennial pink, and then a more fuchsia pink. It's great.
It's very me.
I love it. No, and it goes well with your background because you got a bit of pink and blue going on.
Exactly.
So it's great. It's all.
I saw it at the men's section.
Exactly, and we love that. Because clothing is not gendered.
Clothing should not be gendered.
It really shouldn't.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I
cut it because it was a little big, but
fair. That's all right. I did that the other day with a shirt because they are always too long for me, like t-shirts.
They are.
Yeah. Are you small?
Same. I am. Okay, I did a height reveal in my latest video.
Yes.
Comparing it to Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
So it's a picture of me standing next to Gordon Ramsay, photoshopped, of course. I didn't actually meet him. And I'm 4'9", if you don't know.
Wow. So you're even smaller than Anna Marie Forcino.
How tall is she?
She's 4'11".
Ooh,
and that's
I didn't know
small.
She was a small one too.
Yeah, you're even you are the smallest commentary YouTuber probably. Apart from like children on commentary YouTube.
Yeah. We need superlatives for the commentary community.
That's awesome. I love that. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking, or is that a secret that you don't tell the audience?
No, I'm 24.
Okay, so you're done growing pretty much. You're not
Yes, I am very much done growing. I've been done growing since 4th grade.
Fair. Yeah.
Because I think my mom pulled out like, I don't know, we were moving. This was like years ago. They were moving and they pulled out like all the old school records and stuff from public school. And they showed like when you go to the doctor and they measure you when you're growing up in like elementary school. And it was like, I grew from 4'7" to 4'9". And I was like 10. And I was like, oh, okay.
Is that
I remember going to the doctor actually, because they do checkups and you're like, you'll probably grow to this height when you're growing up. And they were like, you'll maybe grow to 5'1".
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
And so that was very interesting. They actually proposed, sorry, this is like TMI, but I don't really care.
No, I love it.
They proposed this hormone therapy for me to grow taller. And it was really weird and sketchy, and I'm glad that I said no as like a 10-year-old. They're like, you can grow taller if we like manipulate your hormones and shit. And I was like, no. No, thank you. Because there's a bunch of weird side effects.
Yeah, you don't need to be taller. Like, it's nothing wrong with being small.
It's not like I was a detrimental small. Like, I was just a normal small.
That being said, are there some rides you can't go on?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, good. Okay.
Surprisingly.
Good.
I'm like just tall enough.
Okay.
Like, I'll stand next to the thing and I'm like, here.
Wow. Okay, well, that's
I'm
really
like
that was the only thing I was thinking. I was like, oh wait, certain things.
Plus, I don't really like roller coasters anyway.
Oh, fair. Oh, and
I'll go on
driving.
like,
Does it make driving a little bit annoying?
yes, I
Mm.
have to get a car that fits my size.
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
have an SUV
Mm,
that works for me, and I could see the top of the hood. Not every car works. Like
mm,
Chevy Impala does not work for me. It is
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
very long and I am very small and my feet don't touch the pedal.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
yeah.
things like that, but like once you cater your life to your height, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
you know where you'd have a good time?
ooh.
Japan.
Yes,
Because
I did.
yeah. Oh, so you've been.
I went 2 years ago, so not
Mm,
super recently. I went in like
yeah.
2019 and it was a stopover. So we had a
Mm,
24-hour stopover in Tokyo before we went to Thailand.
mm.
So I was visiting my sister who lived there, which she is listening to this. Hello. Hi, Nina.
Mhm.
Called out. So we were visiting her. Everyone was my size in Asia, and I felt very at home.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I'm when I went to Japan, like I'm not super duper short. I'm quite small. I'm like 5'3", which is smaller than average, but
Okay.
it's not if we compare it to like you and Anna, I think I'm kind
You're
of
not like,
like
whoa.
yeah. I'm kind of like yeah, not not sort of unique, small. I'm just
You're
bog
normal
standard.
sized,
Yeah. And
standard sized.
yeah, and I loved like everything being small there, like the bath was
Yes.
small. And but the thing is, my partner at the time, whom I went with, was quite tall, uh like five, well, not like super duper tall, but like 5'10". But for Japan, I guess
That's
that,
still, yeah,
and
that
I
is very
just
much above average.
yeah. And we were eating Pringles on the subway. I can't remember what the name of the subway is in
I
Japan.
forget what it's
Yeah.
called too.
And he couldn't get his hand in the Pringles tube because the
Oh
tubes are
no.
smaller there. And this old lady opposite us just started laughing. I was
They're
just like,
already small.
yeah,
Pringles cans
that's
are already small in the West.
yeah. And you know, it was great for me though, because my little hands got right down in those babies and I got them Pringles out
Oh
and
no.
it was all good. But I did feel for him a bit, you know. So it yeah,
Yes.
it's
My boyfriend is 6'3",
what?
so it was very rough when he tried to go into the bathroom. He was like, I can't, this is so small.
This is, you know, have you seen Tall Girl?
No, but I've seen the memes about
The
it. I've
milk
seen people
crate?
watch it.
You know about the
Yes.
milk crate? So is that kind of the kind of thing you've got going where you have to stand on things?
Yeah, basically. I break my neck looking at him. It's a
My
little
goodness.
it's funny. When we were walking around in Japan, we got looks. More of
Yeah,
like curiosity and how strange it was.
that's amazing. I mean, that's like a foot and a half of
Yeah,
difference. I love that
which
though.
they
That's
don't use
great.
feet in the UK, right? You guys don't use feet, do you?
Ah, yeah,
For
yeah, we
height
do. Yeah.
specifically? Okay, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah. No,
It's
no,
like
no,
you
we
guys will
do.
use Celsius and everything except for height.
Yeah. No, we love feet because it's the whole like on dating apps, if you're a guy and you're 6 foot and over, it's like a lot of girls are like, I won't go below
Oh,
6 foot, which is just like it's so arbitrary. It's like
it
five
is
foot 11,
very.
6 foot. Like what's
What's
the
the difference?
yeah, and especially when it's girls who are like our height being like, I have to date someone who's
I
6 foot. It's like, girl,
know.
you're 5'2". Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know. It's just funny. But I mean, I will say though, I do enjoy being the little spoon, regardless of gender of the person I'm with. I do like being the
Same.
smaller one. Maybe it's because we're
Same.
used to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel safe.
Yeah, I like being the little spoon, the baby spoon, and
Yes.
I don't know. I know what you mean. So yeah, but
I do have a step stool in my
oh,
kitchen that I do
oh,
have.
I love that.
Even with the step stool, I can't reach some things on like the very, very top. So I have to force Drew to come out there and reach things for me.
Oh gosh, wow. Well, get by with a little help from my friends. Am I right
There
or
we
am I right?
go.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But before we get right into the thick of it, do you want to just tell the people, in case they're not familiar with your work, about yourself, what you do, what your channel's about, blah blah blah. Just
Yes.
share.
I'm Gabby Bell. I make commentary YouTube videos, whether it be funny or not
Ooh.
so funny, whether it be on a
Mm.
serious topic or just something hilarious that I found. I've been wanting to pivot more to the funny side because that's what I'm good at, I think. It kind
Mm.
of drains me to
You are
post all
funny.
these
You are
serious
funny.
topics. Thank you. I try.
Yeah.
And that's, yep. I do music as well. I'm Gabby Bell
Ooh.
on Spotify,
Mm.
and my patrons get a special song from me at the end of my videos. So I
I
think that's
love
kind
that.
of one of my quirks, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a lovely treat. So if you were to recommend your music to people, um, what would you say in terms of if you like this artist, you might
Ooh.
like my tunes? Who insert artist? What would that be?
If you like lo-fi,
Mm.
bedroom pop,
Oh yeah, I like bedroom pop and
and
lo-fi.
yes, and Japanese city pop, that's what I'm at.
Ooh,
That's what I'm doing.
that
I
sounds
like a lot of
incredibly
different
cool.
music, but that's what I do.
Yeah, that is very cool.
So I don't know any specific artists that are kind of doing that.
No, that genres is good too. Genres is
Yeah.
yeah, I love me some bedroom pop.
Yes. It's where it's
Oof,
at.
so good. And for people that aren't aware, I was only made aware of this recently because I'm not like super knowledgeable about music. Bedroom pop, I guess, describes it's a kind of indie that is often
Yeah.
self-produced or starts self-produced.
Yes.
Like a lot of artists that are described as bedroom pop, like Claire and stuff, aren't self-produced anymore. I suppose they're
Right.
bigger now, but like that's
That's
kind of
kind of
the
the feel they go
origins.
for.
Yeah, it's the feel, and it's kind of yeah, no, so big fan. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like pop, but self-produced. I was trying to find a better
Yeah.
way to describe it, but yeah, that's just about it.
Indie pop, and they often express their feelings, you know what I mean? That
Yes,
kind
the
of thing,
feeling.
which yeah.
Oh, I loved how you mentioned friendship in your normativity video.
Amatonormativity.
I can't pronounce it. I tried to read the title like 7 times and I was like, Tara, I
Don't worry,
can't.
it's okay. I struggled during it, so oh, thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
'cause people don't talk about friendships enough in like music and like
Mm.
like it's just not a thing. And I'm like, come on, like a friend breakup, it can be
Oh,
just as bad,
they're the
if not
worst.
worse.
Yeah, I'm guessing if
No one
you,
talks about it. No one
you
sings about it.
exactly like, I mean, you don't have to go into details, but have you experienced a friendship breakup?
Yes, many times. And I actually have
Mm,
written many songs about this, which is why I felt seen when you said it
yeah,
in your video.
but
But like I have one called Fall Apart where it's like
mm.
every time I meet my people, this sounds so dramatic. Every time every time I meet my people, we end up falling apart. I see their true colors. You know, they don't
Mm,
stand by me when I'm at my worst. So it's got those people that say, I'll be there for you no matter what, except for when it's not convenient for me.
yeah,
Or except for when your depression is a inconvenience in my
yeah,
life.
it's not cute and quirky, it's actually real.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just kind of left there and you're like, okay, what a friend you are. Thanks.
Cheers.
So that's kind of honestly, friendship stuff is like one of the main themes in my music. So I'm
I
very
love
passionate
that.
about that.
I
Literally, most of
love
my
that.
songs are about that, actually, now that I'm
Yeah,
looking.
it's so true. Like, I think this is something, and this is something that in my life I want to focus more on, is like really cultivating and making time. Like at this point in my life, my priority are my friendships in terms of what relationships I have.
Yes.
Just because, yeah, those are the people that have like, stuck by me and like just bring the most joy, and it's just friends. When friends are there and you've got good ones, they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like what make life worth living. No, that
Oh my
sounds
gosh,
really
yes. No, it's true.
but it's true.
Because I've been the person who's like maybe taken for granted
Mm,
those people. And then I'm like, now in my friendships and relationships, I like tell them every day, I'm like, I love you. Thanks for being
mm.
my friend.
Exactly. In fact, I in my calendar currently, I've got not one, not two, but three big gay nights out in my
I
calendar
love that.
with my friends. And we've all got gay nights planned out. We're like, right, let's go out, be gay, and do crime.
And
And
do crime, do gay crime
yeah,
specifically.
exactly. Like I don't know if people are aware of the possum memes and the raccoon memes. They've kind of become a bit
No.
of a thing. They've kind of become a bit of a thing amongst the gays and the memes. It's a thing. I'll probably explain it in another podcast episode.
Oh
But
God, I'm excited for that.
yeah. So, but exactly. No, I appreciate you pointing that out because I think it is something that takes uh, it can often take a back seat, which is a
Yes.
bummer.
Underrated.
Or it's portrayed, if you are someone who prioritizes your friendships, it's portrayed as like a lack of maturity.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed
Yes.
that trope in media. Like it's a big thing. And I'd say something like shows like Broad City or any buddy comedies, the people around them are like, why are you so obsessed with your friend? And it's like, the way they behave is like a couple, like a romantic couple, but for some reason it's weird when you're
Yeah.
like that with a friend. You know what I
That's
mean?
very true. Yeah, it's not like how you see it in like movies and everything, as much as we want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. Friendship is important. We love friendship. Go friends.
Yay, friends. Shout out to
Yay.
friends.
So you recently you've put lots of videos out recently. You're posting pretty regularly, actually. How long have you been on YouTube?
That's a great question because I've been on
Mm,
YouTube for a while. However, I've only been doing commentary for about a year.
okay.
So before that, I was a Premiere Pro tutorial girl because that's what
Ooh,
I like did for people as freelance. And then
yeah.
I realized I hate making tutorials.
Oh my God, you know what's so funny? When I first
What?
started YouTube in like early 2020, my first few videos were photography tutorials because
No
photography was my job before
way.
YouTube. And I love photography, but doesn't mean I want my YouTube videos to be about photography.
Yes.
So
Did you
I
hate
feel
like
you.
making the tutorials?
Yeah, I found it boring and like you
Me
couldn't make
too.
jokes or like you couldn't make that good jokes. And I mean, don't get me
Right.
wrong, there are great photography channels on YouTube, but like I think that's another thing. It's like quite a saturated thing that once you've got
Yeah.
a few good photography, videography people on YouTube, it feels like, what am I adding here? Whereas with commentary, it's
Right.
like,
There's already like the go-to.
right,
So like
commentary
now,
though,
what am I gonna
everyone's
add?
different. Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone's got a different take.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's never too many, in my opinion, for commentary. I honestly think it's
Yeah.
limitless.
People have told me that there are too many already, so why should you do it? And I'm like, fuck you.
What
I'm
commentary?
doing it. Yeah. For like
Really?
there's a million commentary channels out there. Like you're not gonna grow doing that. Like do something else. Like you have a musical talent, do something like that. And I'm like, no.
You can do both. And also
Yeah, that
this
too.
this is the thing that is whoever said that to them, no disrespect, but they are wrong. Um
Yes, I
you know,
agree.
a few years ago, Tiffany Ferg came out with a video and it was something along the lines of commentary YouTube isn't just funny white guys. And like she goes through a scope of
Ooh.
commentary YouTube. And to be honest, it even that will be like out of date now because since then the pandemic and like how much
Oh,
commentary YouTube has changed. Think of like all the kind of content you get. You get like fashion historians from like
yeah.
Mina Lay to music comedy-ish kind of like you,
Yes.
Mooncat, Mr. Beard, political people, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know where I would put myself, but somewhere like video essay people, and you know, there's so much.
There's so many different topics.
So for
Like
people to
even from
say, yeah,
exactly. Like even from me to like Salem I'm butchering her name.
yeah, I know who you mean, yeah,
You know who I'm talking
yeah.
about. For the listeners, Salem Tolivar. I'm so
I think
sorry.
it's Tovar.
Tovar. I don't know where I got that from. Even from me to her, like it is so different in terms of
Mm,
like both being women. It's
mm.
like I just think like there's so much variety in commentary YouTube that you can't just like, okay, here are all the women commentary YouTubers. Like, we don't know. Here are all the white guy ones. Here are all the political. Even between communities, they're so different.
Well, exactly. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily describe myself this way, but I sometimes get described as left tube. And
Mm.
who else also gets described as left tube? H bomber guy and ContraPoints who make like 2-hour videos. And
Oh my
like
gosh.
we're just
Yes.
not like, you know what I mean? It's like mine are a lot more sort of in your bedroom,
Chatting
you know,
about stuff.
yeah. Whereas theirs are like full on productions,
Feature
like
films.
they are,
Yes.
yeah, they are like fucking major scale projects. So it's like, yeah, it's just I think that's a very silly and short-sighted kind of way of looking at it. And I think commentary YouTube as a genre is going to have the most longevity because
Hmm.
people are always going to want to hear people's opinions. People are always going to want to watch video
Exactly.
essays. They're always going to want to watch film analysis. And that's another side of commentary YouTube, like film media
Yes,
analysis.
there's
Like,
a whole side of just like movies and TV shows.
exactly. Video
And that's all they do.
games.
And yes,
Yeah.
there's literally Thomas Game Docs. Like, we'll do
Mm.
video essays on just video games. It's like
Hmm.
you can't just throw all of commentary into like it's oversaturated, don't bother.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much different stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. So
And I thought
very.
about that too, because there's
Mm.
like vlogging was huge like 5 years ago,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I want to say that it's died out, but it obviously hasn't. But I like wondered in my own little world while I was folding laundry, like, is commentary YouTube gonna be like just another niche that is gonna kind of die out and fizzle out, and there's gonna be the next big thing, or is commentary YouTube gonna outlive vlogging? I don't
I
know if that
don't
makes any
think
sense.
it no, it definitely does. And I think there's two things there. There's one in that I think vlogs may not be the main thing. How do I describe it? A lot of people still watch vlogs, even though it feels like they've
Yeah,
died out and they're not like
exactly.
the best content on the platform. And that's not to shit on vlogs. Like there are some
Right.
good vloggers there, right? Even if I'm not interested in watching vlogs because I don't have the attention span.
Me
Um,
neither.
but yeah, I just personally don't find them that they're not my thing. But
Exactly.
you know, at the end of the day, some of the biggest channels are vlog channels, so someone's watching them, perhaps, you know. And same goes with commentary YouTube. Even if the commentary renaissance dies down, and you know, I just don't see it as the same thing though, because like I said, like it's so much more vast, and like
Hmm.
so many different types of content come under commentary that I don't think you can even say that it could. I don't think it's possible for it to die out,
Yeah,
even if you
exactly.
want it
Because
to.
I feel like vlogging is so hard because you have to feel like you already care about the person in
Mm.
order to feel like watching their video, their vlog. Because it's like,
Well, this
you're
is
like, who
something
cares?
like
It sounds really mean,
no,
but
I agree. And this is something I found interesting. Like, there's this meme that's like how I sleep at night knowing that I have never given any money to Shane Dawson. And
yeah.
not gonna lie, I do have this kind of like little bit of smugness that I'm like, I never actually watched that guy.
Same.
Um, and the reason being is because before, am I right in thinking that before the documentaries, he
Hmm.
did like vloggy classic YouTube
I think
videos?
so. I
I,
remember people
yeah.
would show me his videos in like middle school, and I
Mm,
never really found them funny. I don't know why.
because
Just
they were
I'm not like
racist.
I'm not yeah. Well, I'm saying like as a as like a 9-year-old, I'm not analyzing comedy and like
No,
what
true.
makes
You don't
something
have that.
funny. So I'm
Yeah.
just like I am not laughing at this.
Yeah.
I wasn't even
Yeah.
like offended.
No,
That sounds
no.
terrible. But I'm 9, like I don't get it, but
Yeah, you don't have that.
I
Um,
like didn't understand why I didn't find it funny. I just thought it was like maybe cheap humor.
Yeah, boyfriend wears a fat suit for a day.
Yeah, like, okay.
A
And
$1,000 mystery box. I cloned myself and it's Trisha Paytas. Um, and like he went through a phase of making like conspiracy videos.
oh,
Oh
right,
yeah,
yeah.
he apparently contributed to the whole 9/11 conspiracies, which is awesome.
No.
That's great.
Oh God, I wish I didn't know that.
I just don't get it. Like I just when people like that, when people I I never got the appeal of Jeffree Star either. I just
Me neither.
maybe I don't know. Like and it's not even I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, not liking popular things doesn't make you cool." And I'm like, I don't
It's
understand why they're
not that, I
popular.
promise.
Like
Yeah.
Jenna Marbles totally get why she was popular. Is popular.
Yeah.
She still is. She's still beloved because she's
Mm-hmm.
funny and her
Yeah,
dogs are
people
cute.
still miss her.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Or there's other big YouTubers that were really popular, weren't my thing, but I could see the appeal.
Yeah.
Like Emma Chamberlain, for example. Don't really like
Yes.
vlogs, so never watched her stuff. But
But I
cracking
get it.
personality, seems like a cool person.
Yeah.
Totally get.
Funny, cool.
Shane Dawson,
Yeah,
Jeffree Star,
exactly.
where's the appeal?
Why?
Never got
Why?
it. Never got it.
I never understood it either.
Mm,
I
it's,
think
yeah,
there was a period where I didn't watch YouTube as much. I think
right.
because there was just it was vlogs only. You know what? Same with David Dobrik. I'm sorry. When
Yeah,
I remember when he was super big, people were showing me his videos in like high school, and I was like, sorry, I don't get it.
he's not
Not to be
funny.
like contrarian or I don't like
No.
a popular thing, but like I genuinely didn't get it.
It's that kind of content where it's like, oh, my rich friends and I just fuck around and that's
Yeah,
entertaining. And it's like, to me, that I don't know, I just don't get it.
it isn't appealing to me. Dude, my friends were like literally sad when Liza Koshy and David Dobrik broke up. And they were like, I cried. You have to watch the whole video. And I watched it with them and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
can I go now?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of, you also, both you and I made a video about breakup videos on YouTube,
Yes, we
specifically the
did.
couple OK Baby. And just to catch people up who aren't familiar with this situation, there's a big family vlogging channel called OK Baby. Man and woman, mid-20s, I believe.
Yes, I
And
think
they
so.
have 4 kids, five?
That
Four,
is what people in my comments have told me. So
they have a
take
lot
that
of
as you
kids
will.
by that age. I think their first was 19 or 20 or whatever. They've had a lot of kids and they've broken up
Wow.
and they did this long ass breakup video. And she didn't, in general, the audience reception was they did not like how the wife or girlfriend came off. I don't know if they're ever actually married or if they're just boyfriend
I
and
think
girlfriend.
they are.
Okay,
So it's
well,
weird that they phrased it breakup when they're
divorce.
getting divorced.
Yeah,
So,
dividing assets.
yes.
And it's the same with like, I don't know, it's just breakup videos. What kind of world are we living in that they're a thing? What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts,
It
please.
it's weird because the video after that video of that sentence made no sense. The video I posted after the video I made about the breakup was the video about YouTuber apologies. And a common theme in both of those videos were public relationships. And I felt in one way, okay, Sabrina, Gus's ex-girlfriend, whom he abused, has the right to share her story and make that part of their relationship public. That is a fact. That is what happened. I'm not saying it's wrong because it wasn't. I think it's good that she did that. But that is what happened. And then on the other hand, we have the OK Baby couple who both consented to making that part of their relationship public. They were both ugly parts of the relationship in which were shared. And one reception was, I would say, mostly positive for Sabrina, as she deserves. And The other one was mostly, hey, this is weird and cringy, and I don't like this for the OK Baby breakup. So I just found that really interesting in like,
Hmm.
should relationships be public? Should they not be? They have the right to share it. Sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. Sometimes it's good to share, like, because people can relate, or I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's important for people to see the bad sides because they can relate, and relate is the best word that I can come up with,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So I just found that a really interesting dichotomy
Do you want to
in
hear
public
my
relationship.
thoughts on why that might
Yes,
be?
of course.
So I've got a couple of theories. One being that in the case of OK Baby, there are children involved. That's the
Hmm.
biggest one. And that was my issue with it, is that
I
your
agree.
kids are going to see this, your kids are in the background. This can't be good for them. I mean, I don't think little kids should be on YouTube anyway. Um, or
I'm with
if they
you.
are, I think they should have the same labor laws as child actors, because at the moment they don't, and they're just being exploited.
It's so weird.
It is very weird. Second, these people share like every detail of their life. So I think for people, it's kind of like, why do you share everything? People find it weird. Whereas like
Mm.
someone sharing like an abuse story who doesn't otherwise make content about their relationship that much, I think for every, there was something about it that was like,
Whoa.
oh, we need to know this. Like it was kind of like breaking the news.
Yeah.
And the third and final thing is that in the case of the OK Baby couple, I keep wanting to say OK Cupid, it's OK Baby. Um, it felt a bit like, why are you telling us this? We don't want to know. Um, and like exploiting their breakup for content and for ads. Whereas,
Mm.
like, if someone who's a victim of abuse shares their story, that helps people. Um,
Yes, it does.
you know, and secondly, even if that was like the main focus, that's good in my opinion. But I think also in this particular situation with regards to Sabrina, it wasn't even the main purpose of the video. The main purpose, I suppose, was to talk about, and for those who
Mm-hmm.
need the context, Sabrina's video was mainly
Yeah.
about the fact that she not only had suffered abuse in a relationship, but abuse from the healthcare system,
Oh,
and had an
yeah.
ectopic pregnancy. And it led to the point where it nearly killed her and has damaged her body. And that the sort of moral of the story there is our healthcare system needs to take
It's
women's pain more
garbage.
seriously. It's
It is
garbage.
so
And
garbage.
so, you know, and I think that was the thing. And that made it feel, and it is very authentic. It didn't feel like,
Yes.
let's talk about this
No,
relationship
she didn't
drama.
name Gus at all.
Did not.
She didn't
That's the
name him
thing.
at
Another thing
all
as
in the
well. It's like
video.
when you've got two people just bickering on camera, it's like, you just feel like you
Yeah, this is
shouldn't be
weird.
looking. You're like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
that's so
Whereas, like, if
true.
someone comes to you really vulnerable and lets you
Hmm.
in and puts their heart on their sleeve, it
That's very
feels
true.
more like, oh, wow, you're really opening up to me as an audience member.
Yes, and this is important for us to hear. And, you don't do this often, you're not capitalizing off of it, which is funny because Sabrina's video opening up about that was sponsored at the end of
Mm.
it because she needs money. But people
Some people
were,
took issue with that.
yes, they were like, you're just capitalizing off of this, you just want to cancel them, blah, blah, blah. And she made a pinned comment underneath because she saw the backlash, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, guys, I just got evicted
Mm.
from my apartment. Like, I literally don't
Breakups
have
are
money.
expensive. Do people not
Yes,
know this? Like, when you live with
right?
someone, breakups are fucking expensive.
It's very expensive. It's very
Mm.
hard in every single way possible. Like, I don't think her sponsoring the video takes away from everything else that she
Mm.
just said. Like, people are just so like diehard on one side that they just don't want to hear anything negative about their favorite creator. I like get how that can be difficult at first, but I feel like it's another mental level to go and like comment and harass the person. I don't know.
Audiences get weird about sponsorships regardless though.
Yeah.
It's they get very touchy about it, and I think that's something I just wish. I mean, I'm lucky in that my audience are lovely about it, but I do see
Yeah.
sometimes some other creators get flack from their audiences about sponsorships, and I just sort of wish people knew that, you know, I mean, sometimes you do get creators taking the piss a bit, you know, like with Jake Paul and the gambling shit, you know, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
reasonably.
Yeah, but for the most part, YouTubers take sponsorships because AdSense is unreliable. You know, it's different on every video. It's weird and inconsistent. There are videos that can get more views but earn you way less money. It's very
Yeah,
confusing and
weird.
weird. No one really knows how it works and what it means. So it's just regular income. And when you've got to pay rent, you know, that's how
Gotta
it
do what you
is.
gotta
You got to
do.
do what you got to do. So
For
that's
me, when I see a sponsorship, I'm like on someone else's video, I'm like, yeah, you get
exactly.
that money. Like, good for
Exactly.
you.
Hello, welcome back. We just had a very strange technical glitch where, Gabby, you're in the middle of speaking. Can't even remember what it was about now. And Zoom just yeeted out of here. It was just like, I've had enough. And it just shut down.
It died. Tara took a big drink of water and it just
Mhm.
froze like this. And I thought she was just taking a really big sip of water, so I just kept talking. But I think we were talking about sponsorships and ads. I was saying how
Yes.
in a 22-minute show, there's 8 minutes of ads. And when a YouTuber has a 20-minute video, they'll take like a 1 minute brand deal. And I feel like we should not be complaining about
So
that.
this is another thing as well. In the US, it's also a lot more. So
Really?
something, yeah, so something that's like a fun little quirk here is that if you watch a show in the UK that's from the US, you know how when there would be an ad break on a streaming service, it goes to black, but then it just carries on.
Yeah.
Here in the UK, like we have like a bit of a joke about it when we watch a TV show and they're like, oh my God, the Americans, they have so many ads. But yeah, exactly. So if you're an American audience member, you're probably very used to it.
We
I
don't
don't
like
know.
it, but we're
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah, exactly. You're being sold shit all the time. I mean, we are in the UK as well, but just in a different way. Um,
Yes.
yeah, because we have the BBC, which is like government funded, so there's no ads allowed at all. So if you're watching something on the BBC,
Oh,
no ads. But it's the BBC and they're really
interesting.
transphobic, so you know.
Right. So maybe we don't want to watch the BBC.
Yeah, no, we don't. Fuck them. Fuck the BBC. Fuck the BBC. Fuck you guys. I'm saying that on record. Um, but yeah, I think also we briefly touched upon your video about YouTube apologies, and I would love to hear your thoughts because that is something that I think we all fear as a creator that we might have to do one day. Um, and
Really? So you have that fear as well?
of course, I mean, I don't know what for. I don't have anything on the tip of my head
Exactly.
that I'm like, oh, I killed a guy that someone might find out. Like, I don't have that, but um I don't know. You just of course. And I think my question to
Oh
you
yeah.
is, do you think there's such thing as a good apology? Because in my experience, I don't know if I've ever seen an apology that has been taken well by the majority, but maybe that's just me being cynical.
Yes. No, I think you're right. And I think I have an answer.
Go on,
And I think
please.
it's because we don't see the good apologies because they don't blow up because they were good. So it's like it kind of just brushes under
Okay.
the rug because people are like, all right, I like this, and then move on. And then we don't hear about it.
As in, it keeps
But because,
contained to their audience and their audience forgive them and it doesn't spread.
yes.
Interesting.
Because the
Okay.
only, because rage fuels the internet. So we
Oh,
only hear about
yes.
bad apologies because they're so outrageous.
Mm,
So I can, may I present
please.
examples? Well, I'll just talk about
Yes.
them
Yeah,
that
please.
people may not know. I think a lot of people don't know. So, I'm gonna bring these up again, but Drew Gooden has an apology video. Did you know this?
No.
It's very interesting, actually. I found it. And he apologized for a tweet that he made in 2016, but he apologized for it like semi recently. And I guess he said it in his apology video. I'm not like digging up dirt on him. This is like literally what he said in the video. So his tweet was him making a like cheap joke at the expense of like Asian women. And his apology video, he didn't post on his YouTube channel. I think he posted it on Twitter only. And I understand why he did that. I think it makes sense.
You post the apology where the mistake was made, I suppose.
I think.
Or do you think it should have been put on YouTube as well?
I don't know, because on YouTube, I think the reach is far wider because that's where all of your audience is.
Yeah.
I think on Twitter, I guess it made sense because that's where the mistake was made, and maybe that's where he was getting angry fans. But personally, I didn't have a problem with that. I just thought it was very interesting because a lot of people don't know about it, because I think the apology was good. And in his apology video, he was just like, hey guys, here's the shitty tweet I made. He literally put it on the screen. He's like, this is what I said. It was stupid. It was wrong. Back in 2016, I was into like edgy humor, and it was just a dumb, stupid joke. I'm sorry. And then he was like, I know this won't make up for the things that I did, but I'm donating a shit ton of money to Asian charities. And that's it. It was like literally a minute long. And all the reception in the comments were really good because someone reposted it up onto YouTube, because that's what people do. And yeah, as an Asian woman, I was like, yeah, this checks out. Like, I don't know, like, I believe it. And then I thought to myself, like, why do I like this apology and not like other ones? What makes this one good? And maybe it was because I think he's shown in his videos in general that he's obviously not racist.
My follow-up question to that would be, it's really interesting you say that, because it is something that was something that directly affected you, and obviously you aren't you don't know every one of his audience, but did you feel amongst your friends who are also Asian American women who knew about that situation, maybe they didn't, but like, how did you feel like they agreed with you on that, or did you feel like there was like a disparity? Like, what did you feel like the consensus was, out of curiosity? If your friends even watch YouTube.
I saw a lot of no, IRL, no, because I don't really have other, I wish I did. I don't really have other Asian women friends in real life. But online, I saw a lot of, as an Asian, I accept this apology. I saw a lot of that in the comments. I think maybe it was because of how straight up he was. And he was like not beating around the bush and being like, listen guys, I was a freaking stupid idiot. This is dumb and racist, and I'm sorry. So,
well, that's interesting. And I think, I mean, it's, yeah,
that wasn't too out of pocket.
No, not at all. I find, and it's what you said at the beginning. Did you know about this? I didn't. And I guess that's part of that, as you say, is because it was received well.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, I think, because
right, like, I genuinely don't, like, to me, it is so obvious that he's not racist. Like, I
was surprised when you told me that that was the situation, because I mean, again, like, I don't know if the apology sufficed, can't say, but yeah, I was very surprised when you said that, because there's no indication in his work that he actually feels like that about people.
All three of our favorite funny white guys had something like that.
Actually, really?
I'm just exposing all of this information. In a loving way. I think we need to talk about it.
Because you feel like they handled it well.
I do think they handled it well.
Wait,
I think
when
it's
you say
very
three funny
obvious.
white guys, you mean Drew, Danny, Curtis?
And Curtis. Yes,
okay, go on.
Actually. So Curtis, in a tweet, also when he was like a young teenager, said the F word against gay people in a tweet. And somebody dug it up. And this was a while ago. I don't know if I'm getting all the details correctly. I think he replied and apologized. And I think he actually kind of clapped back at someone digging up his past. saying us something like that,
The importance
considering
of
he's been
deleting old
so
tweets, though, gotta say.
well, just considering it's so obvious that Curtis is pro gay rights and trans rights. It is so obvious in his videos. So it's like digging up a tweet like that from like 2012 felt like you're doing it on purpose to try to cancel him. Like, yes, it
Right.
was a wrong thing for him to say in a tweet. At the same time, I just think uh, it's just such a weird dichotomy of, yes, it's wrong. Are there more important things we need to look at when considering this?
And also, we got to look at ourselves, because I think if I were to
Right.
give Curtis a hard time for that, I don't know how old he was when he made that, but if it was from when he was a teenager, um,
I think it was, yeah.
yeah, as someone who is a queer, um, I don't know what exact phrases, but I'm sure I said and did homophobic things. Little did I know the homo inside of
Exactly. And I
me.
did
But
that's why I'm like, am I gonna sit here and throw stones from a glass what's the phrase?
glass
Stone. Throw
houses, I
stones
don't
from a
know.
glass house. Well,
Yeah,
because it's like growing up, like you have to look at how these people grew up. Like I don't want to come off like a sympathizer with these people. Children aren't just like homophobic and racist out of nowhere. You have to look
no,
at how these people grew up, what environment they grew up in. Like, I've seen people being like, you're 16, 17, you should know better. You should know better. And it's like, in a way, yes. In another way, can you imagine growing up in a homophobic family? All your
mm,
extended family is homophobic. You're and religious in that way that perpetuates
mm-hmm.
homophobia. You grew up in a very rural, isolated place in like Kentucky, and you're surrounded by only white people who are Christian race. I don't mean to. I'm sorry, Christians. The type of Christians
I
that
know what you mean, like
perpetuate
evangelicals.
homophobia and are
Yeah,
right and are very against it. At 16 years old, I'm sorry to say, you don't know better. You'd think you do, but you don't.
your brain doesn't
And
stop
that's just the
developing until
truth.
you're 25 odd.
That too. I just think we need to people want to look at it very black and white. I think we need to look at where these people are coming from, not like sympathizing with it and saying, "Oh, this is right," but like you're racist because you're stupid and you're racist. And it's like, okay, I think this is a bigger societal problem. Like, I don't just think it's this one person that is racist.
No, that's
Like,
and it's allowing people to grow and get. I
yeah,
mean, it's tricky when I always find this hard to navigate, because it's like, if it's concerning something that doesn't affect me personally, I can't comment on it because it's not up to me to forgive. But when, for
right.
example, if I see someone who's made like misogynistic jokes in the past, homophobic jokes in the past, things that do affect me, right? I do
Yeah,
think, okay, what do you have to show for yourself now? What does your track record look like for the past few years, like you
right,
said? And what are you
right.
doing right now? And if that person is being a good ally, that says to me that they've grown and learned. And I can't remember who it was, but someone made a really good tweet, and it was like, if you don't cringe at yourself from 5 years ago, you haven't grown. And I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I,
do
even at
too.
age 20, like, I look at my politics back then and I think, oof, nah, I
Same.
didn't.
Oh my gosh. I was watching your Grazing Hell episode with Ethan is online,
Yes.
and what he was saying about it was such a good episode. What he was saying about like he used to be stuck in that like Jordan Peterson pipeline
We all have an
of like
edgelord
alt-right
phase.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God, that's the phase that I went through, and
yeah.
I feel
Mm.
so embarrassed
Oh, of
about it because I
course.
look back now and I'm like, that's what I am mostly like ashamed of, and I think somebody eventually is going to like dig that up and be like, look at her, she, and I'm like, I'm not like that anymore, I promise.
We
And
all, yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm just so, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
No, me too. And like,
It's
exactly. Like,
terrible.
I had my edgy atheist phase, and it was very cringy and obnoxious. But luckily, I
Yeah.
wasn't on the internet at the time. And this is another thing we've got to bear in mind, is that Gen Z are on the
Right.
internet much more than you know, I'm a younger millennial, right? So we just got to understand that it's like I was saying just as stupid shit as you are right now, but I happen to not have it logged on, and that's just an advantage, right?
Yes.
So you got to exactly. There's so much to take into account, and I agree. I think giving people
Yeah.
space to be better.
To
Obviously, there are limits to
grow.
that with certain things,
Right. Right.
but you know,
I completely agree. That's why
someone,
everything is
yeah,
gray.
it really is, and it's also everyone will have different boundaries. Like some people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I might forgive certain misogynistic jokes or whatever that other women can't forgive, and that's valid. That doesn't mean they're wrong.
Right. And same with me. Exactly. That's why I
Right.
feel like this is my own like niche opinion almost, because I've been on
Yeah.
both sides of it, where I have been the edgelord and I have been on the receiving end of racism and edginess. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. Like there are a lot of teens, specifically mostly teen boys that go through this phase and then hopefully are embarrassed by it when they grow up.
There's some things about my past that I look back and I think, oh wow, yikes, 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 yikes. And I
Yikes,
think,
super yikes
super
indeed. I
yikes,
just feel like
yeah.
a lot more people go through stuff like that they don't want to admit because they want to sit
Mm-hmm.
on this moral high horse and be like, look, that person did bad thing. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, you cannot tell me that you weren't like 15 and you said something really dumb and hurtful. Like, you can't
Mm.
tell me you didn't do that. Like, we're all not perfect.
Exactly.
We all did something racist, homophobic, mean, bad, betrayed your friend, did something you regret. Like, you can't just,
And not
come
to
on, you
offset
know?
responsibility, but I think another big factor
Right.
is you talk about people making jokes in a certain year. A lot of that time, the year is 2016. And it's if you talk about
Yeah, it
YouTube
is. Isn't that
in
weird?
2016 and what the fucking landscape of YouTube was like back then, it was a hellscape. And the most popular content was like anti-feminist kind of,
Yes,
you
it
know,
was,
being
dude.
left wing on YouTube was radical back then. Hella
I used to
radical.
be like, oh, look at those SJWs. Like, oh,
Blue
you're so
haired feminist.
triggered. Oh my God. I like look back on that and I like puke a little bit.
Of
How I used to
course.
think about these
And we all
things.
go through those phases, you know. I went through the phase where I was like, I'm a rational, calm feminist. I'm not like those other feminists, y'all.
Oh no, yes, I used to go through like I'm not like other girls.
Oh
I liked
yeah,
video
same.
games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like, oh shit, another girl who plays video games. Let's go. Like, it
Yeah,
makes me happy.
exactly. Exactly. So now that we've talked about good apologies, or at least perceived apologies that was perceived well, I feel like it's only fitting that we talk about bad apologies. So in your video, you focused on two particular apologies, both about very serious issues. But one of the apologies, and I hate to say this because the person accused was accused of something very horrible, it was assault. So it's not a funny topic, but their
Right.
apology was fucking hilarious. And I just,
Yes,
it was
exactly.
comically bad. And do you want to? And I think you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Sienna May. Tell me about
Oh,
that
yes.
situation. Tell us.
So, if the listeners are unaware, Sienna May is a body positivity TikToker who who had a friend named Jack Wright, and I think they're both like 17, 18 or something, 18,
Mm,
19, something like that. And this happened over the course of many months or a year. Can't remember exactly, but
mm.
Sienna May would repeatedly sexually assault him after he kept saying no many times, to the point where she had sexually assaulted him. There is video proof of this, as if,
Yes.
we shouldn't need proof, but like, there's video proof of her sexually assaulting Jack while he was, I think, drunk,
He
semi-unconscious,
didn't look very conscious in it.
and
Yeah, I'm just going to say allegedly
no,
so I
he
don't get
looked
sued,
either
but
asleep.
you know.
Yes, allegedly. You want to know her apology for it? It wasn't even an apology. It was a dance video of her dancing to a song called Young by Sam Smith. And it was like an interpretive dance video. And she's just.
And that's what I mean when I say her apology was funny. Obviously, the situation is terribly
The
sad,
apology
and
was
my heart goes out to Jack.
absurdly hilarious.
Yeah, but just the apology, you know, when it's just so bad, all you can do is laugh. It's just fucking like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's absurd. And it's so funny because the lyrics to the song are so funny. Because the song's about being young and making mistakes while you're young. Perhaps some of the things I was talking about earlier. It was just like being stupid. Assaulting someone, she used this song to say, get a little wild, get a little high, kiss 100 boys. If you want to judge me, go and load the gun. I've done nothing wrong. I'm young.
And didn't she start the video being like, I'm so grateful that God has given me this platform and all this shit? And it was just like the most, I don't know how to describe it. Just very
just tone deaf, perhaps.
Self-flagellating shit ever. Like, imagine if, like, I'm sorry, as a YouTuber, to be like, God has given me this platform. It's like, no.
Holy, how self-righteous can you get?
No.
God has given me this platform.
You got lucky. We all got lucky. That's it.
She's like, if I can inspire one person, then I've done what I was put on this earth to do. Verbatim.
Also, like, this had to have got through so many people. You made this point in your video. It's like, she has a team, right? She has a manager, she has like friends, she has the people that film the video.
And they all were like, yep, this looks good. You should post it. People will love it. Holy crap. Terrible apology, which made backlash worse and did not fly under the radar. Ooh, boy.
Because I feel like if it weren't for that, we would have no idea who this person is, because she's a TikToker and we're not the target demographic.
I didn't have any idea.
Right. And that's the point you were making earlier, is that these terrible apologies, you know, an apology is bad when someone who's never heard of you comes across it.
Exactly. That's oof, man.
I was just thinking, remember another historically bad apology? Logan Paul's apology when he filmed someone a victim of suicide in the suicide forest in Japan, and it is another comically bad apology for an absolutely heinous offense. But he was fine after. He was fine in that YouTube removed his YouTube did remove his monetization for a bit, but because of that guy, it changed the landscape of YouTube and ads for everyone else. It caused Apocalypse too. I think the second one.
Oh my gosh! I think
Logan Paul to thank for that.
Adpocalypse.
Yeah. Thanks, so this shit, you know. Yeah.
You can, as much as maybe people don't want to hear it, unfortunately, I don't know. You can always come back from something like that, apparently, because now a bunch of people like.
Shouldn't.
Right.
I mean.
A bunch of people like Logan Paul now.
Right. And Shane Dawson, like, I know people roast him, but like, he's getting a lot of views.
I know, right? I've like checked in on his channel and I'm like, how are you still getting millions upon millions of views still?
You just have dedicated enough fans. Yeah, it's amazing, really.
He either has his comment section filtered out or he's getting a lot of positive. Like his latest video has 3.4 million views.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Amazing. Really, just so basically you could probably kill a guy and get away with it if you're Shane Dawson.
Apparently. Like, wow.
Should we test this out, Gabi? Should we both like kill someone and see?
Yeah, let's try it and see how long it takes to
who's more
get
cancelable
for it.
Yeah, who's got the more dedicated audience?
Oh no. Well, I think just over the years Logan Paul's just made this redemption arc for himself. I don't know how, I don't know why.
I think it's because the bar was so
people
fucking
like him
low
now.
that like when Jake and Logan Paul act like human beings, people are like, oh my God, they're actually not that bad. And it's like, no, they're just acting like human
No.
beings. They're just not acting like total pieces of
that's
shit.
true.
They're not good people, and they won't be. They're just not acting like completely heinous monsters right now. So your perspective is
Exactly.
warped.
I think he's gone through some change in like branding and just the way he brands himself now, especially with Impulsive, his podcast. I don't know. And like the Pokemon card stuff, like people actually like him now, and it's weird to see. So I don't know if that means that he's reflected on his actions or feels bad about it. Like we will never know. So nah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm cynical, but I reckon nah.
I always have hope in people.
Yeah. I try to. But
I'm like, I would hope someone would give me the benefit of the doubt. So I try to give it out where I can.
Exactly. So, you know, let's end this on a high, I think. Yeah, because I don't want to end this on Logan Paul. Do you want to shout out some of your favorite creators just some of your favorite people that you've come across recently? Yeah.
Well, we can't go without mentioning our favorite Kunkin Dassner, Duncan.
Yes.
Our fave.
Baby
our
boy,
very
sweet
fave.
baby
we
boy.
love him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sweet baby boy Duncan. He's great. Jarvis Johnson. He's another goodie.
Another sweet, I wouldn't say baby boy, but a sweet boy. A sweet older boy.
Yeah, maybe not a baby boy, a sweet older boy.
He's not old, he's like 20 something. But I just mean, he just doesn't have that baby face that, I mean, he does have a bit of a baby face, but you know what I mean? Like Duncan has like baby. And then Jarvis is like,
yes.
Like baby, but
baby
not little
face
baby.
with a beard.
You get what I mean. Anyway.
Baby with a beard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, go on.
Those are the faves so far. Obviously, you.
Oh,
freaking
stop.
Obviously.
Thank you.
And of course, all the friends that I watch, like our favorite white boy, our favorite funny white boys, love them. Nick is not green. It's great. Ethan. I I slid into Ethan's DMs to collab, so he hasn't responded yet, everyone. You know what to do.
I love that. That's beautiful. Well, those are some good choices, and I will link them in the description. And Gabby, do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Yes, I am Gabi Belle. I am youtube.com/Gabi Belle.
And you spell Gabi Gabi.
Gabi.
With an I, not a Y.
Yes, I wasn't trying to be quirky. Yeah, not trying to be quirky. That's just like how they spell it outside of America. So
nice.
That's just the way it is. GABI BELLE, like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, I think. I'm on Twitter at It's Gabi Belle, Instagram at It's Gabi Belle, TikTok at It's Gabi Belle. I'm like, where am I on social media?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Right, well, go check out Gabi. Make sure to check out her work. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Good commentary stuff, because commentary is not oversaturated. So if you want to be a commentary YouTuber, make videos. Do it. That's my advice. Just do it. Right, just okay, in that case, shall I do my countdown and we do the bye-bye?
Oh, we have to do the bye-bye thing.
We've got to do the bye-bye, the Toy Story. Right, so I'll count us down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.